corporations and commercial real estate. 1 million plus in funding and more. Aged corporations. We have the only ones that are non-stolen, never been dissolved. That means for 8 years, 10 years, 15 years, however long you want, it has never not been in good standing. I guarantee nobody can say that because they have crap and they're selling stolen corporations. So that's why you want to get a corporation from us. You want to get real funding that will allow us and you to prosper big time and build real wealth. So what does that mean for you? It means maximum funding in credit, maximum funding in loans, and maximum use for building wealth. I.e., you can put commercial real estate on it. Your first one can be 5 million, 20 million and up, which I will help you do every step of the way. And I'll go over that in a minute. You can set this up for government contracts. Allow yourself to get in the bidding process, which I can help you go over that and get your business going on that. Also, if you want to use it for business acquisitions, as well as commercial real estate, or you want to get into exotic cars, that investment, I could tell you how to get into that cheap and make money on it, which a lot of people don't even know how to do, and be able to do that to where it actually pays you to do it. As well as if you want to take your corporation public, and you want to get your corporate equipment and corporate vehicles on corporations. That's all just icing on the cake when you really need or really want to start out the first round of funding at $100,000 increments, sometimes $200,000 per loan and per credit line, and we get funding. So as far as pricing goes, the average price you want to look at, that'll be Paydex ready in like 45 days, but we can set the whole thing up. I mean, the average 8-year corp or 7-year corp around there is like 7,000. At 10-year corporations, around 8,000. You're going to call me for details and find out what exactly is available. These are the prices. They're lower than everybody else, and they're actually real. They've never been stolen. They've never been dissolved. No one else has owned them. And when you talk about what comes with your standard documentation for your corporation, you get your articles, you get your certificate of good standing, you got your operation agreement, your bylaws, the updated name and address on the corporation. We'll give you the whole list on how to build your Paydex 80 and how to get credit card funding, and if you even want to do the NOPG crap, or you straight up hire me to do it the right way, and we will start out at the $100,000 increments. The first round is probably like $500,000-$600,000, and then each round goes up basically from $100,000 increments to 2. Then the next round is like 300 to 400. By a year, it's getting $1 million increments. And I'll send you proof in the link below to see of our proof of funding on corporations and things, which nobody else has and can't compete because they don't have that. So that is that. We've had the same phone number. We've been around with the same website and everything for over 15 years. So that is that. That's what you want to do. Now is a killer time to get a corporation because you can put your commercial real estate on it. And now is probably one of the best times ever to get into commercial real estate and put it on your corporation. So not only you want to build your business, but you want to build your business and get into commercial real estate. So I'm going to go over some nice factors about commercial real estate. If you want to start out with ideally apartments, the mid-range apartments, you want to look for either any apartment if it's got a little bit, it needs a little bit of work, a little bit of low on occupancy, any type of motivation. You would actually be surprised. You would think, well, how can I get in commercial real estate? Seems like it's so hard. Well, reality is people that own commercial real estate, they go through divorces, they go through IRS problems, not that many, but mainly divorces. They go through business partnership breakups. They go through other problems in life. And sometimes they just like want to flip it and get cash, because a lot of people in commercial real estate on high levels, they get into it the same similar way that I'm doing it, that nobody really talks about. I'm at my earlier videos. I go over a lot of it. If you call me and you want to hire me, I'll go over you the specifics, like exactly where, why, and how, and narrow it down to like exact, like pinpoint it, how you want to get it, how it's easiest, and where to find them and how to get them. So, lateral conversion, like I talked about earlier, is so if you have an apartment, there's several ways to do it. If you have an apartment, you want to renovate it a little bit, increase the rent. Once it's renovated, I mean, even $100 adds up to like, on a decent $10 or $50 million apartment, you're talking $100 in rent or $100 deducted off expenses. You just changed the price of the property anywhere from 500,000 to $1 million. Depends how you look at it, how you set it up. There's many ways to do it, but the lateral conversion is you could take any location, you take it down, and you rebuild something in the good location, or you could change an apartment to a condo into an office, or an apartment with offices on the bottom, or an apartment that you're going to remodel a bit, or change it apartment to individual condos, or add extra things onto the apartment that's going to generate income, like maybe of course the laundry room, other facilities. You put a mixed use on it, maybe at the bottom, like this picture, like office buildings, you want to change them to lofts. You can put a mixed use and put commercial retail in the bottom of it, or some things like a strip mall do similar things. I mean, you have to be creative and structure it, and there's tons of ways to do it. It's really unlimited how you can do it. Restaurants, a lot of things that are going out of business right now can be bulldozed down, and you can put in a lot of places are doing car washes, different things, newer, better fast food restaurants, more retail, better franchises, flag tenants, that kind of things, or strip malls, or malls, or large retail boxes into indoor storage units or facilities, or just different things. You could structure them out, so you just have to be creative and do it. But the trick is why all my clients and why you're going to succeed is because when we do this, we're going to work it where ideally we can get you funding, you have cash, maybe $500,000, then you can get into about everything you want. But when we're pulling this off, we're going to pull out like $500,000 to $1 million per property. So you're getting paid to just keep finding them and looking at them. And the reason why it's so easy to make money, because once you have one property that already is leveraged to buy another one, and then 6 months later you can pull the cash out of that first property and buy a second one. So one property is really turning into three right off the bat. The second one's turning into three, so it's a domino effect. It's easy to turn into 100 million to 500 million into the billion. Only thing is, if you're not worried about, you have your corporation, you put it all under there, you want to put it on your name, or we set it up under a trust and it's under your name, then you don't mind your name being all over the place and you make a lot of money. That's easy to do. This is how you're going to make the money. So if you want, you can hire me, like I said it earlier, or I could teach you the basics on how to get it, how to find it, write your LOIs. I could get you the pre-approval, your proof of funds. If you really need to hire me, I could negotiate with the seller, and then I could even structure your exit strategy and how you're going to increase the rents and everything, and the exit strategy even before you pull the trigger and close the deal. And we can have it all wrapped up, locked up nice and tight to where it's all planned out, where you make the money, the refinance in 6 months, the sell of it in 12 months, or you want to stabilize it and keep it in the portfolio and build on the leverage and keep expanding and use the foundation of them for cash flow. Start out with your apartments, and then you want to get into projects and developments and those things and leverage into that, because those require a little bit more down payment or a down payment. But you can take land and develop it and expand it into mixed use and residential, multifamily, and make tons of money that way. But it all starts out with the corporation, so you can put all the commercial real estate on the corporation. So if you put even one So the numbers on the corporation right now, I mean, you're looking at $1 million in a year, but that's not counting if you have any commercial real estate on it. So you're exponentially growing your funding in corporation by doing it that way. Commercial real estate right now, you want to look on LoopNet, Zillow, and all these places for commercial real estate. You could look in high vacancy areas where you want to find properties that are like maybe 50% vacancy. You're going to throw out a bunch of LOIs and you're going to find the sellers that are going to work with you. You get the right price, then everything is about possible. I mean, you get a cooperative seller that has equity, about anything's possible and about any way we can structure it can be done. So you're talking the best, absolute best places right now in the country are, I'll tell you right now, New York's pretty hot. Of all places, is probably the number 3 highest vacancy rate. You want a place that has high vacancy rate with an overbuilt area of like too much construction permits. So you're going to look at the permits. Maybe if it's overbuilt, that the permits and be overbuilt will turn into a bubble, and then after like 2-3 years out, you just set yourself up with the motivated seller right now, and you set yourself up to renovate the property a little bit and then capitalize on the fact that you got it cheap, and then after the bubble breaks, you're out 2 to 3 years out and you've just probably doubled your commercial real estate, and you're in the absolute best place in the country, and that is the place with the highest vacancy. And where is that? You're looking at New York, North Dakota. You have Wells Fargo. You've got a couple other towns up there, and there's probably like 100 of these properties, and some of them are like, you could even get like a 4-unit practically within, you want to get anything within less than 20 years, you can get a 4-unit up there in North Dakota for like 200,000, dirt cheap. Maybe 250,000 for a 4-unit. That's dirt. And then your third highest vacancy rate in the whole country right now is Kansas, right in the middle of the United States. So those 3 are killer places to start looking for commercial real estate. Focus on, if you want to focus on off-market things where you ensure that you have ways to manipulate things, are looking for the motivated sellers. You know, ahead of time you might send out mailers. You want to find out the owner. You want to find out places that are look a little bit worn down, and then contact them ahead of time and make the deals ahead of time. A lot of them are really open to doing it, and we're closing a lot of commercial real estate now because of the market being so bad. So now is a great time to get into it. So if you're buying commercial real estate out of state, you're going to have to go visit it for a couple weeks, get it set up, make sure the management's okay, or set up the management, rework your income statement, find out what's expenses that you need to cut and what things you need to improve on, like external things, bring the property up in value, like exterior paint, exterior fixtures, interior countertops, maybe carpet, but mainly your exterior and your visual. And curb appeal is really detrimental in increasing the price of the property, even repainting or recoloring the parking lot. Curb appeal is a lot. Brings in new tenants, and a trick that a lot of people don't even talk about. I'm telling you all these things. I know a lot of other things, but I'm giving you a lot of things that people don't even say, so you know. And the first thing you do when you get the property is you're going to rename it, and that is going to take you from the hood to the luxury part of town, the country club. So Joe's Blow Hood Crack House apartment now changed to the 5-star, Watercrest luxury condos at the corner of Crack and Main, or wherever you do that. The name alone and the setup and the beautiful curb appeal, and you just throw some countertops in there, maybe some fixtures. You didn't spend shit. You paint it a little bit, you just raise the value of it by like 25% or a third. You want to flip it real quick, you can flip it, or you want to hold it. There's a lot of ways to make money. Real estate, commercial real estate is very dynamic, it's very easy, less regulation, and you just have to get on the game and start making things happen and getting the LOIs out and find a cooperative seller. You want to get around the realtor or get the realtor in on your side to get to the seller, then you can make things happen. As far as like other things with the properties, yeah, I mean, you could start wherever you're at. It's just you've got to start. If you want to do worst case scenario, you try to do 4 units, and then a couple of those easy ones. But the fact of it being easy or hard is really in your mind, because it's all zeros versus difficulty. So a 10 million, a 15 million, $20 million apartment is all the same thing. What you want to look for is well, some easy fish in the water is for sale by owner, assumable loans, which we do assumable loans, or you get clients with an assumable loan, or like I'm saying, need some little renovation, those type of things. And let's see, assumable loans for sale by owner, owner financing, renovation, motivated sellers. Another way to tell if the seller's motivated is because there's 2 ways. One, if he has ads all over the place that says the dude's trying to sell the shit out of the property, that should be ringing a bell in your head. Be like, that dude wants to sell. Boom, fish in a barrel. And the second way you can tell the dude's motivated is if it's all over the place, that's a red flag saying you need to buy it. And then also another trick when you're trying to find a really good motivated property is all over is, well, of course you have to, if the economy is dropped because of a certain area or a certain business, okay, yeah, that's good as well. But you want to find out the building permits, the city permits for building and construction. You want to call the city planning zone, and you're going to find out ahead of time what areas in this city or location have got new bus routes going in, have got new, I don't know, offices, buildings, retail, restaurants, or development going in. You want to find out what's going on with the planning, and also you can change the zoning or do whatever, but you want to just map these things out ahead of time. Another trick to finding, okay, the other trick I just said, okay, so I didn't, is advertising all over the place. That's a red flag. The guy needs out because he's probably getting divorced, he's getting sued, or whatever the reason. He wants out. A lot of these people want out. You think it's hard to get in these commercial properties, but it's not. If you actually get off your ass and go look at them, and you start looking at the matrix, and you're seeing these little signs like I'm telling you, like that apartment complex everywhere, means you want to sell. The second other one, it's a really good key trick, is that if it's been on the market excessive amount of time, that tells you also that he is a seller and gonna sell. These are things you need to look for. You train yourself to look for these, and you get this and you search it out in the market. Then you bring it to me, and then we finalize it, get your first deal done, and then after that we keep going and going and just get you on bigger and bigger deals. And then when you do that, you're going to get me if you're going to give him the LOI, then you're going to come back to me with the financials, and I'm going to go over the financials. I'm going to tell you everything about it, what to look for, what's bad, what's good, how you're going to work it, and how we're going to take those financials, and we're going to turn it around and jack with the seller and get the price even down lower. Now, we're going to make it where you get money back, the price is lower, and if we got to get it to where we can do delayed payments on rent, extra split on the down payment, or we got to structure the numbers. There's a lot of ways to do it. So you're going to hire me, I'll make things happen. You just find the commercial real estate and we'll start going. everybody does these programs and these courses. I've yet to see anybody that could come close to anything that I've structured or do the amount of number of deals I've done over the years. I don't put them up here because I don't want to have all my past of everything I've closed on and everything I've bought, like, and all over, like, I don't need that. But I'm telling you, I know how to do that for you. So you want to see it happen to your own bank account and how easy it is to pyramid yourself up to super rich. You just got to put in the hours and put in the time, and it's a strategy, and it's incrementally, exponentially grows faster, simpler, and easier as you start doing it. But if you don't do it and you don't take the steps to do it, you never do it. Also, when you're finding these properties and you're making your moves to find the properties and apartments and stuff, you're going to farm out the properties that you actually want. So you're going to close on all these, and you're going to have a list of the properties that you want, but the guy says he doesn't want to sell. When you do that, you're going to have a catalog listed of all your properties under the phone number of whatever these properties are. So when this guy calls you up in 6 months, you don't have like 5,000 10-word sentences that you have to go through, like all these pages and pages and pages to find. You go look up the phone number in your catalog. It pops up where you're at, where you left off, where you left the negotiations off, and then you close it. The key to being rich is being smart, working smart, remembering your conversations with your people, and knowing what you want out of every property, and focusing your brain on what you're trying to do, and then narrow it down and target it, and keep track of your work, and keep working it all day long, and keep closing your deals. You get sidetracked, you don't do it, or you waste time on other things, you go broke. But if you have a system and you keep tweaking your system, you keep streamlining it, you're closing tons of real estate, and you're closing bigger and better deals, and you're getting paid every single time you close a deal. You're literally getting paid. Your pay is going up like double every time you close a deal, and every time you close a deal, you're getting paid to close a deal. So you're literally making money on top of money. But right now, everybody's brainwashed, thinking it's hard, and money's hard, and life is hard, and it's impossible, and I can't afford to buy a corporation, I can't afford to get my credit fixed, can't afford to do this. Well, the backwards ass thing is that debt, buying commercial real estate and debt, is what makes you rich, because all that debt is what other people pay and you just own it. Debt is the dollar bill. Rockefeller kicks that stuff out. It never was worth anything, and everybody else fills it up with collateral and value. If people all stood up today and said, which is almost pretty much happening, the dollar is slavery and is a joke, and we don't need to pay the bank a dollar because it's a piece of paper. Reality is you're doing the same thing, but with assets. Same thing with every asset you buy. I mean, it can be a luxury car, it can be this, it can be that. I can tell you exact same tricks how to buy the car or cars and the real estate, but the trick is not to look rich. The trick is to be rich, or be rich but you look rich because you are rich, but you don't want to, you don't need to have the look and not be rich. The rich part of this is closing deals and make things happen and focus on it. If you make the right moves on every angle that you do, you're going to win 100 times ahead of time. So corporation is key. It can't be a corporation that's been dissolved, and it can't be one that's stolen with the previous owner on it, because once we start getting that credit, a lot of credit on it, they always send out letters and they always contact the previous owners because of the old Secretary of State and the old ID on it and all these other things. Ends up going back to them. They always find out and they start suing you. That's why you don't want to buy a piece of shit corporation. Now, if you happen to got your own corporation, you have your own business, and you're actually moving forward, then we can do it. But if you want to just get straight to the money, you want to go to the corporate commercial real estate, you want to skip the credit repair, we can do that too. You just got to be super aggressive. But it is a lot easier if you're making, if you have a corporation. It makes it a lot easier for taxes and a lot easier for other things. But if you don't, the cash, the credit repair, all this gives you cash. You only need like 500,000. Once after that, maybe $1 million. We don't need to do corporate credit or credit repair or funding anymore because you're a whole new level of generating money. So you don't need that anymore. But it does help you get to point A to point B. So now that you have the overview of what we can do and how to get things done, commercial real estate's it. This is the time. The economy, the dollar, the hyperinflation. Your best bet right now to overcome inflation and make money is commercial real estate, and it's your best bet. Most people that are millionaires, multimillionaires, got rich in commercial real estate. So now's the time. So let's get your personal funding, get your credit repaired, and then start all on this at the same time if you want to do that. I'm here for you. You want to make things happen. My number is 312-473-4163. It's Mark Anderson. Thank you, and I look forward to helping you guys out. Thanks. Bye.